We're going to start this week with news that came out just after we recorded last week's show, and it was the Las Vegas shooting. What do you think is the big takeaway, or what do you see happening on this?
What this showed me is that somebody with enough time and enough resources, money, etc., who really wants to cause a mass casualty incident is going to do so, whether or not there's gun control. This guy, even though he was obviously disturbed, there was no reason for the mental health system to pick him up. So a check there wouldn't have done anything. He had no criminal record.
So then what is the fix, Cliff?
Yeah, there is no fix because, with the amount of money that this guy spent on this, given that he was a pilot, for that price, he could have bought a DC-3, packed it full of fertilizer, and flown it into the crowd.
So all right. Well, let's catch common ground first. Do you believe that assault rifles, the AR-15, any like M16 type weapon, should those
whistle, flag on the play, illegal conflation of weaponry on Greg? That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
No, because I think I'm using the correct lexicon here. An assault rifle.
You are conflating
AR-15
two very different types of weapons. An M16 is an automatic weapon specifically designed for military use. An AR-15 is just about the most common rifle that is sold in the United States today. But if you're going to try to go into banning any sort of semi-automatic weapon, you're essentially going to start going after the vast majority of guns that are in existence. And it may be something that Kevin wants. He's been very open about that. But I don't think it's something that most of the American people would accept in this circumstance.
Okay, so since my name was brought up, I want to respond to this. I'm a classic gun safety advocate. I believe less guns is a safer society. I believe we can regulate weapons. I don't believe we're going to undo people's Second Amendment rights by going back to things like the 1994 weapons ban, which I know you can cite statistics all day. I think it served a purpose in this country. But what I've heard for the last about 18 minutes here, in my opinion, is just masturbatory discussion that's getting us no place. Greg opens his mouth on the subject, and you guys can't wait to jump in to show how much smarter you are because you know the difference between a semi-automatic and an AR-15 versus an M16. That gets us no place. There is a problem in this country because too many people get too many weapons and use them to kill too many people. And if you can't see that, you are blind. I don't care how many college degrees you get. I don't care how many colleges you teach at. But if you don't understand that there is a correlation between too many guns and guns that are too powerful for a civilized society, and what we've been seeing for the last 5 to 10 to 20 years in this country, the problem is yours, not mine. It's on you.
Yeah, you are wrong because the worst school death incident in this country was Bath, Michigan, explosives. The worst terrorist incident used planes.
And we regulated them. What part of that don't you get?
Yes, and yet somehow that didn't stop the Murrah building bombing from happening.
That didn't stop. Tell me about the second 9/11, Cliff. I forget about it. Tell me about the 9/11 that happened after 2001. There was none because we regulated the airlines. We reinforced cockpit doors. We changed the rules around box cutters. We have a no-fly list now. We created the TSA. We anticipated a problem and changed the volume of liquids that passengers can carry on an airliner. We did things to make sure there wasn't another 9/11. But we are too afraid as a society to ask how many semi-automatic weapons with bump stocks and silencers one lunatic should be allowed to own. That's the problem.
The More Perfect Union, real debate without the hate, now heard on iTunes and Blog Talk Radio.